Let's imagine you are a normal guy, and suddenly someone summons you to another world with a mission to save it. The world you are now is a sick and harsh place. You are doing your best for 20 years. You live in this sick world every day. You don't believe that people in this world are worth saving. You just want to go back home. But to be able to go back, you have to defeat the monster. So you did it, and you are back on Earth again. You are thrilled, life seems to be so nice and perfect again. You think that everything is going to be smooth from today, but yes, Earth is not like it used to be. In the end, you have to be a hero again, so let's go back to the story. It's been 20 years since he left Earth, and today he's finally taking down that monster and saving the world. All of a sudden, a massive explosion lights up the sky, showing off the insane power of his final move. When the smoke clears, a shadowy figure with glowing red eyes steps out, completely unscathed. The beast appears, taunting the hero, asking if he really thought that hit would take him down. Scanning the battlefield, the villain spots Lee Han-seok's friends all badly bruised. The monster roars, calling the hero an insolent brat while gathering purple energy in its hand. He doesn't flinch, he just grips his weapon, pure determination driving him. Without missing a beat, he charges forward and slams a huge punch right into the beast. His friends take cover behind a magic shield, but it looks ready to shatter any second. Enraged, the creature screams it'll tear him apart unless he surrenders right now. It unleashes massive power, shouting that the whole kingdom was forged by its claws. Facing the huge attack, our hero braces for impact. With fury in his eyes, he shows no fear and readies his counter. The purple energy slams him head-on, causing a massive explosion that shakes everything. Even after the hit, he refuses to drop his weapon, gripping it with every ounce of strength he's got. Lee Han-seok decides he's done playing and vows to finish this fight for good. Suddenly, a blinding light floods the battlefield, hinting at a massive power surge. With all his might, he fires a golden beam, looking exhausted but still pushing forward. The attack is so bright it whites out everything. That's when his special move, Paradox Flame, finally kicks in. Talk about a game changer. Whoa, plot twist. He dashes forward at full speed, easily deflecting every projectile. He plants his foot, using the momentum to gain even more speed as he charges the foe. The impact is so heavy, the ground actually cracks beneath him. For a heartbeat, they stare each other down, eyes blazing with determination and rage. They keep trading blows, wrecking the scenery as the creature gets pushed back. Seeing it's on the defensive, the monster tries to counter with its massive, sharp claws. But Han-seok is faster, blocking the strike at the last second. He plants his weapon into the ground to steady himself against the beast's pressure. The monster taunts him, saying a weak hit like that won't even leave a scratch. Our hero smirks back, telling the beast not to be so sure. With his weapon blazing, Han-seok shoves the monster back, showing total combat superiority. Nice power move. The creature is forced to admit the attack shattered its arrogance. Right after, red flames burst out, engulfing the villain's body. A piece of the monster's golden crown snaps off and falls, symbolizing its ultimate fall. Now the villain kneels, engulfed in flames, while our hero watches. The creature can't believe a human from this world has that much power. Our hero reminds him he doesn't belong here, and that's why he's different. He tells the villain they're talking nonsense, even as his own body starts to give out. The creature is in total shock, clueless about what's happening to its body. As the hero starts to fade, he realizes his resurrection power finally stopped working. Ouch, that hurts. He explains the black flame burning the monster is his special ability, a power that feeds on abstract concepts. Han-seok reveals that while the monster has resurrected for centuries, this fire is burning its very core. The villain finally accepts its fate, but tosses one last taunt before vanishing. It warns him that even if he's erased, he'll never be a hero because his own comrades will betray him. To the creature's surprise, our hero calmly replies he already saw that coming. The saintess panics, shouting for our hero not to believe the monster's lies. He snaps back, saying he knows she tried to seduce him daily while secretly hating him for being an outsider. He knew that once the hunt ended, she'd pull the trigger without hesitation. Han Seok turns to her and asks straight up if she can even hear him now. He adds his other two companions are cut from the same cloth. The knight, for example, took a bribe from the emperor just to end the hero's life. And the mage? He hates Han Seok because our hero opposes his twisted human experiments. Basically, he's known for 5 years that they'd try to kill him as soon as the boss fell. The creature is baffled, wondering why someone with his power didn't just destroy the betraying world. With a weary look, our hero reveals his only real wish. He just wants to go home. The villain is stunned, and the story flashes back 20 years to Earth in 2005. Back then, he was a regular 30-year-old office worker, summoned by some goddess. But it wasn't a fun ice guy. The world he landed in was a total dumpster fire. He tried everything to leave, but the only way out was to play hero and save everyone. Along the way, guards stopped him, saying being a hero doesn't mean he can just wander off, talk about bureaucracy. Seriously. Han Seok says he rescued a kid from a village and demands the guards let them in for help. The guards refuse, saying the boy's a goner anyway and medicine's too precious to waste. That world was so heartless, they'd rather ignore the dying than help. With their medieval medicine, they'd chop off a limb for a minor infection while healers were off at war. Amid the mess, a priest approaches our hero with a suspicious question. He asks how the hero saved the kid from the monster, suspecting the boy's possessed. These fanatics decide to exorcise the kid themselves, warning the hero not to defy God. Our hero endured this crap for 20 years, and finally, he's beaten the monster. He shouts to the heavens, he's kept his side of the deal, and demands the promise be honored. A divine light falls from the sky, leaving his former teammates in shock. The beam intensifies, opening a portal right in the battlefield. The summoning goddess appears, congratulating him for finally slaying the beast. Well done. He asks her straight up if she still plans to honor the deal and send him back to Earth. He reminds her the deal was to return with his memories and soul intact. The goddess asks if he really hates this place so much, since he'll lose his powers and fame. Han Seok smirks, showing he couldn't care less. He tells her to drop the act, knowing she's just glad a monster like him is finally leaving. The goddess looks sad, asking one last time if he'll regret this. Our hero confirms he wants his old world and tosses his weapon down. The weapon hits the ground with a thud, marking the official end of his hero's journey. Nice closure. Feels right. The goddess agrees, and Han Seok's body dissolves into particles of light. As his hands disappear, he thinks how glad he is to finally be done with this miserable world. The light wraps around him as the goddess explains his original body's gone, so his soul needs a new vessel. He asks whose body he'll take, and she says it belongs to someone destined to die anyway. He doesn't care, as long as it's Earth, any fate is better than those hellish memories. Finally free. His consciousness fades as he's finally sent back home. He wakes up in a bed, wondering if he really made it back. It's the year 2025. Sitting there, he remembers those backstabbing scoundrels with pure anger. At least he's done with those traitors. He spots a mirror and takes a look. Checking his new face, he realizes this is his life now. With a smile, he picks up the mirror and celebrates. He's finally back on Earth. Man, he's drinking tap water like it's fine wine, calling it pure magic. Then he fires up the stove and celebrates. No more chopping wood for fire. Life is good. He finds a box of food and honestly gets emotional just looking at it. He opens it and finds glorious fried chicken. He's mesmerized by the sight. Without missing a beat, he grabs a piece, eyes shining, ready to crush that craving. He sits down for a solo feast, finally enjoying some peace with his meal. Eating with his hands, the flavor hits so hard he's on the verge of tears. A tear rolls down his cheek, and he admits he missed this life way more than he thought. He feels his normal life is finally back on track. He just notices it's already 2025. Time didn't pause while he was away, it kept moving forward in both worlds. He figures, as annoying as it is to adjust, it's still far better than that nightmare world. First thing he does is check out the modern shower, hot water whenever he wants. Total dream. He hits a button and the AC shoots a cold breeze at him, Pure luxury after that stinky realm. Just as he's figuring out his next move, a nightmare spawn creature sneaks up behind him. The monster grabs him, and he lets out a scream of pure terror. While he's panicking, an intercom crackles over the complex. The announcement warns about a corrosion rift nearby. He has no idea what that is, but everyone's told to head to the shelters. Suddenly, his panic turns into pure determination. The fight's far from over. Masked creatures start swarming his apartment walls like a horror flick. Talk about an unwanted house party. One of them smashes the glass with razor-sharp claws. Escape is no longer an option. Realizing the odds are hopeless, he knows his only chance to live is to run. He sprints down the stairs with a whole horde of monsters nipping at his heels. As he runs for his life, he wonders how the earth he loved turned into such a chaotic mess. The creatures won't quit, so he takes a risky jump through a window onto another floor. He hides for a moment, catches his breath, thinking he finally shook them off. Then a kid darts down the hall, waving just a wooden stick. He tries to warn the kid, but the kid cuts him off, asking where the monster went and inviting him to join the hunt. That's when he learns the shocker. Earth's been like this for 13 years while he was away. Since the boy refuses the shelter, our hero has to stick with him. The kid explains, mentioning these corrosion rift portals where monsters pop out of nowhere. Our protagonist is livid. He survived one hell only to land in another, cursing the goddess for it. The boy thinks it's weird he's so clueless, so Hyun-suk lies, saying he's been living abroad forever. The kid shares lore about a hunter named Lee Seon, the world's 10th-ranked fighter who wields a massive sword. Our guy wonders how ordinary humans could even stand a chance against these things. The boy gets hyped to show a video, but Hyun-suk shuts him down right away. He senses something. He spots 5 monsters marching toward the hall, with a 6th likely hiding for an ambush. He's strong enough to take them, but he worries about the kid and having no real weapon. Then he notices a blue glow from fallen monsters. He realizes it's mana, the same energy from the other world. A masked monster lunges, but our hero is faster, sending it flying with a heavy kick. Nice kick, huh? His old reserves are gone, but he can tap the ambient mana to power his abilities. Who needs a gym when you have mana? He cracks a smile as he lights his ghost flame. It's a bit weak, but it gets the job done. The flame incinerates the monster completely, leaving the kid stunned and calling it a unique trait. The kid tries to finish it YouTube style, but Hyun-suk stops him. This ghost flame won't quit until there's only ash left. A red glow flares as the monster disappears from existence. The boy sees blood splatter and notices Hyun-suk's hand is burned. Our hero just tells him to cut back on YouTube. He asks the kid for his wooden stick, catches it mid-air, and gets ready to take on the rest of the pack. They're boxed in with nowhere to run, but our hero locks in and gears up to rumble. He charges in, swinging the stick wildly and dropping the kid's jaw to the floor. The boy yells that he's amazing, asking if he's a top-tier hunter in disguise. Hyun-suk didn't expect to smell blood again so soon. He went through hell for a vacation, not this. While people huddle in the shelter, Hyun-suk slams the stick down, finishing the job upstairs. He's walking with the kid when a woman appears, screaming for Yoon-seung. She thanks him for saving the boy, and from her jewelry, he realizes Yoon-seung is a loaded rich kid. A massive bang shakes the shelter, and a huge monster fist smashes through the wall. The creature roars, the wall collapses, and panic erupts, when the wall decides to take a break. Yoon-seung yells at him to run, but our hero is frustrated. He wanted a peaceful retirement, not a sequel. Looking at his burned hand, he wonders if wanting a normal life was too much to ask. The boy says he wants to be the greatest hunter to save the world, because his dad was taken by these monsters. He shouts his dream at the top of his lungs, and although Hyun-suk finds it cheesy, he knows the kid won't actually save the world. So cheesy, right? Yoon-seung's mom tries to pull him away, but the kid is stressed because our guy is still stuck back there. Suddenly, they both look back in absolute shock at the scene unfolding behind them. Yoon-seung screams for our hero, who stayed behind to go toe-to-toe with the monster. With pure respect, The kid watches as the protagonist chooses to face the threat alone. Our guy walks toward the beast, casually saying he'll handle saving the world himself. After 20 years in another dimension, he finally made it back, but a massive rift appeared before he could even taste freedom. He survived using his old-school experience, but honestly, despite promising to save the world, he hasn't lifted a finger yet. Actually, he's been doing nothing but grinding video games on his PC all day. Staring at the victory screen, it feels like he finally remembered something truly important from his past. He brags about how easy the win was, while casually puffing a weird futuristic vape. Then he cracks open a soda to celebrate his smooth victory in the online match. His grand ambition to be a world-class savior was short-lived. He basically gave up already. In the other world, he could only dream of games and junk food. Now, everything's just a click away. He decides saving the world is a job for hunters and thinks it's time to order some takeout instead. But then a major snag. He realizes he's completely drained the bank account of the body's previous owner, Yuchen Suk. He's officially broke. He tried looking for work, but there are 0 normal job openings left. It makes sense. Most companies are going belly up because of constant monster breaches. Sek wonders how to survive, since nobody's hiring a total newbie. Then he spots a recruitment ad for hunters and thinks, hey, I've actually got some field experience. So he heads to the Hunter Association to see if he can make a quick buck in a new career. Career move. He shows up super hyped, which makes everyone think his enthusiasm is a bit much. Enthusiasm level, over 9,000. A couple of guys gossip that exams are a joke now, and all you need is a cunic trait to slide through. One of them acts like a total snob, looking down on the other candidates and calling them weaklings. Meanwhile, a long-haired girl walks past, already daydreaming about her inevitable fame. The snob keeps bragging about his group being elite, but he's cut off mid-sentence. Suddenly, he loses it because the legendary hunter, Lee Si-un, just walked in. The whole place buzzes. Lee Si-un is the world's 10th-ranked hunter from the massive Janabi Guild. The crowd looks confused. Why would someone from Janabi show up in person for recruitment? One of her teammates checks a file for a candidate named Han Sang-ah, who has a lightning attribute. Another guy jokes, asking if she can recharge phone batteries, but Lee Si-un shuts him down immediately. They agree her skills will be useful, though one guy isn't convinced. He gets heated, arguing that real hunter combat experience is the only thing that matters. He claims Academy stars usually choke in real fights, so Lee Si-un hands him a candy to quiet him down. He keeps moping, saying it'll take forever for Han Sang-ah to adapt to the real world. On the intercom, the announcer shouts that the first match of the hunter exam is about to kick off. Lee Si-un just smiles, thinking she needs to get this over with while urging the candidates to prove their worth. Backstage, a narrator notices one particular candidate in the arena looks pretty interesting. He's stunned to find the guy isn't even an academy grad, just a regular dude with 0 formal training. It's a first for the association as our hero stands with his metal staff, ready to scrap. Metal staff, ready to party. The narrator wonders what kind of guts this guy has as he steps onto the main stage. Big guts. The name Yu Chan-sek is called out, and our protagonist thinks about how he's still not used to that name. The announcer blasts the match, rules over the stadium speakers. Our hero checks his priorities. Goal 1, save the world. Goal 2, get good food and live the easy life. His blonde opponent thinks the whole thing's a joke, but our guy knows he has to crush this tournament to get what he wants. The announcer tells them to take positions, the judge signals, and the first fight goes live. The blonde charges in with a flaming spear, mocking our hero for not gathering even a drop of mana. He shouts the hero should be honored to lose to him, but Sek is completely unfazed. With a cocky smirk, the opponent unleashes a barrage of fire, trying to keep our guy on the defensive. The dude brags about being the Academy's undefeated lancer, saying the win's already in the bag. But our protagonist is cold as ice, tracking every movement with laser focus. He plants the tip of his weapon into the ground, ready to strike back in a flash. He spins around like a top, stirring up a gust of wind that catches the blonde by surprise. The guy looks confused, trying to figure out what's going on, when a voice whispers right into his ear. Our hero shows up next to him and cracks a joke about how clumsy he looks wielding that spear. A moment later, he lands a solid punch straight in the blonde's stomach, knocking the wind out of him. Before the guy can even blink, a fierce uppercut rockets him up into the air. His eyes roll back, a tooth flies out, and he's out cold before he even hits the ground. He says he stuck to his fists, because swinging the spear would have broken the damage rules. He's actually surprised it was that easy, wondering if regular hunters are that weak. In the stands, Lee Si-yoon is super curious, trying to figure out what makes him so special. Her friend checks his file and sees he's just a former logistics clerk with almost no mana. He calls it pure luck, but Lee Si-yoon tells him to zip it, clearly not buying the excuse. She realizes he's deliberately skipping mana, and that gives her a jolt. Meanwhile, the guy decides he needs to finish strong to prove his point. The blonde is still crawling. His mind can't wrap around how he just got smoked. Sek, now gripping a blue ore, tells him to chill. It won't be lethal. The opponent trembles as the final blow lands. No defense, no chance. One more hit and it's over. The announcer shouts Yu Chan-suk as the winner. The suited crowd's jaws drop, whispering wildly about what just happened. Lee Si-yoon's eyes light up. She's found her MVP. She really sniffed out a hidden gem. Her team keeps arguing, baffled that a zero-mana guy could win so easily. Who needs mana when you've got skill? She gets up, smirks, and says she wants to see what this guy can really do. She tells her crew she's heading off to see the association president herself. Meanwhile, Sek breezes through his fights, thinking even the rookies look weak. After another easy win, he wonders what the academy's even teaching these days. He's not breaking a sweat, doubting there's any real opponent in the whole place. Suddenly, confident footsteps echo in the arena, and the crowd goes silent. The audience buzzes, next up is a knockout girl, and everyone's hyped. The final match is called. Sang-ah steps into the arena for the showdown. Our guy sizes her up, noticing she actually looks like she's got real power. He notes she has more mana than anyone he's seen today. She says his lucky streak is over. He snaps back, asking if the academy teaches those cliché lines. She teases him for lacking a special trait, just using his hands, then tightens her grip. Her green glowing eyes warn him she won't hold back at all. Our guy thinks, I do have a trait, I just keep it hidden so I don't wipe everyone out. She takes a deep breath, focusing as the announcer signals the start. Time to see what she's made of. The fight kicks off, and Sang-ah darts forward with a blink-fast sword draw. Her blade crackles with crazy lightning, showing high-tier power. Even our guy's eyes widen, a girl with serious speed. She unleashes a massive lightning strike, turning half the arena into an electric death zone. Talk about electrifying drama. But she's stunned when the smoke clears. Her perfect strike missed him completely. Talk about a miss. Our hero casually hops over the blast, dodging the electric attack like it's nothing. The girl is genuinely shocked, wondering how he cleared a lightning bolt with a simple jump. He instantly gets it. She's using the sheath and blade to make a magnetic field, basically a sword railgun. Landing, he nods at her skill but drops a truth bomb. She's missing the key part of the game. She's confused, so he explains. She's overly fixated on speed and has stopped thinking mid-fight. Speed over strategy, classic. Her big mistake, creating those magnetic rails mid-air just to crank up draw speed beyond control. He smirks, telling her strike path is way too obvious to ever land. That fires her up. She tells him to quit the cockiness and shouts she can beat him without any tricks. She charges with fresh lightning, but he glides away, asking if she still hasn't realized he's untouchable. Now she's fully enraged, gathering a huge burst of electric mana for a desperate final move. She releases an energy blast that engulfs half the arena. He sees she's pushing to the limit. Keep it up and her own power will burn her out. He closes in, saying she tried hard, but the fight ends right now. Grinning, he says she should raise her left hand if the next hit hurts too much. A beat later, he lands a brutal punch straight in her gut, insane force. She feels every bit, Her face shows pure, raw pain. He doesn't let her breathe, winding up a rapid follow-up to finish the match. He fully extends the punch, showing he isn't holding back at all. The final hit sends her flying out of the arena. Match over. Boom, that's a knockout. She's out cold, eyes rolled back, nose bleeding, totally neutralized. Ouch, that's a knockout. She slams the floor, her weapon sliding away, and the crowd falls dead silent. Nobody can believe it. The academy's top student gets taken down by a guy who says she relied too much on mana and forgot real fighting. Wait, he spots a flicker. Is she trying to get up? Against the odds, she slowly lifts her left hand off the ground. The referee rushes over, but she signals just like our hero told her. He's impressed. She took his taunt to heart and raised her hand despite the pain. As he walks away, medics rush in to check on her. The crowd's holding its breath. Suddenly, a suited official whispers to the announcer, whose face turns pale. The announcer drops a bombshell. The tournament schedule just changed at the last minute. He tells Yuchin Suk to take a quick breather, leaving our guy confused. The new plan, a special exhibition match, Yuchin versus a pro hunter. In the stands, guild members realize the president is doing whatever he wants. Yuchin watches the crowd, seeing his next opponent is on a whole other level. He thinks they're testing him. Some things never change, no matter the world. A massive sword crashes into the ground. A voice shouts, asking if he's the real Yuchin Suk. She apologizes for the sudden visit, saying it's the only way to see what he's made of. Meet Lee Si-yoon from the Janabi Guild, standing with a weapon bigger than herself. She tells him the stage is too small for him and invites him to a real fight. He instantly recognizes her, the 10th strongest hunter in the world. Things just got interesting. Whoa, talk about a power move. Her aura feels heavy. He knows with his stats, winning will be an uphill battle. Talk about a heavyweight vibe. But a smirk appears. He's already decided to go for it. He accepts instantly, blowing the announcer's mind. He says he hasn't broken a sweat yet. Si-yoon calls him bold, while the previous girl is carried off. Yuchin sees this as his chance to skyrocket his value. He grabs a spear from the ground, ready to test himself against the perfect opponent. The suited audience is speechless, and the announcer looks like he's having a panic attack. Si-yoon lunges with the giant blade, swinging with pure, terrifying power. He blocks with his spear, feeling the pressure. He wonders how she packs that much strength into one swing. Sparks fly as they trade blows in a high-intensity rhythm. She lands a heavy kick, sending him flying. She's the boss in hand-to-hand combat. She sees his speed fading. Yuchin gets frustrated. His body isn't strong enough to exploit her openings yet. She taunts him, saying she expected more after he lasted 30 minutes. She steps in to finish him, telling him to make it quick. He tries to draw mana, but the area's drained. He's exhausted, with one last desperate move. His eye glows as he activates his ace, the paradoxical ghost flame. Talk about a flashy finish. Si-yoon feels the shift instantly. Her eyes widen as he blurs past her attack, shattering the ground. The shockwave knocks him back, but he lands safely a short distance away. She's floored. She thought the strike was unavoidable. She eyes the black aura around him, demanding to know what it is. He says straight up, it's his paradoxical ghost flame, his trusted power from another world. This flame is different. It doesn't burn physical stuff, it burns abstract concepts for fuel. Now that's mind-blowing. He darts in super fast, totally catching her off guard. He's actually using his own fatigue as fuel to keep moving. She's amazed by how quickly he bounces back, and they jump straight into an even crazier fight. Mana-s everywhere. He explains his trick. He lights a flame with mana, the flame burns his fatigue, and that creates even more mana. It's basically a glitch, bottomless energy. He's a pro at dragging opponents out, just outlasting everyone. He goes all in. Si-yoon's annoyed, asking if he really plans to keep this up forever. Talk about dedication. He flashes a grin and says he never backs down until the fight's won. He asks if she's into persistent guys, but she shoots him a pure hate glare and says she totally hates that. But everything has a limit. When all the ideas get burned away, the flame finally dies out. They grind it out for over 4 hours, until Yuchen finally drops and begs for mercy. Si-yoon wins by default, and the guild scouts spot her holding something new, a gigantic lollipop. She passes it to him, noting her business card is tucked inside. He checks the card. She's from Team 3 of the Janabi Guild and asks him to call her for business. As the ceremony ends, he's already chomping on that giant lollipop while plotting his next move. Back home, I'm vibing with my hunter license tech. My phone's local functions are super slick. I'm pretty wiped out when I hear someone shout my new hunter name, Yu Chan-suk. A huge guy shows up and compliments me, saying I look way better in person than on camera. I'm genuinely stunned by his size. I grab his card and ask who on earth he is. He says he's Yoon Song-hyun from the Great Purity Guild, trying to recruit me for his squad on the spot. He tells me that if I put in the work with him, I'll become a top-tier star in no time. Suddenly, Lee Si-yoon's offer pops up in my head. I'm stuck and clueless about what to do. Man, tough choice. I tell him I already have a commitment and need some space to think it over. The big guy just laughs, saying he wasn't counting on a yes on the first try. Then, out of nowhere, he grips my shoulder and the vibe turns icy. He leans in with a menacing stare and tells me I'm better off choosing very, very carefully. He says, "See you later," and bounces away, leaving me standing there looking seriously intense. Cue the dramatic music. That whole thing sealed it. I'm definitely ghosting the Great Purity Guild's offer. I message Lee Si-yoon, asking where we can meet to discuss business. She says she's at a place called The Hut and sends the coordinates. The name's odd, but I eventually find the coffee shop with a rustic wooden sign. A super enthusiastic waitress greets me with a huge smile as I walk in. Lee Si-yoon spots me from across the room, waves me over, impressed by how quickly I showed up. As I settle, the place feels a bit off. She asks if I had any trouble getting here. I tell her some meathead tried to recruit me for another guild on the way. She's already ahead. She knows exactly who he is and says that's why other guilds are staying away. I ask if that means her guild is out too, but she blindsides me. Turns out she has no intention of recruiting me. I'm left looking totally lost. She suggests I go freelance. The thought of not being tied down makes me think. She notes that Yoon Song-hyun probably only offered me a junior hunter slot anyway. When I ask what the difference is, she realizes I never actually graduated from the academy. She breaks it down. Guilds have 3 tiers: junior, senior, and partner. Sounds like a corporate ladder, right? Juniors and seniors are basically office drones on a salary, working for a partner. Partners, though, don't get a base salary. They take a cut of the profits like owners. I say it sounds just like a law firm system, and she confirms that's exactly where they stole the idea. Then she drops the real scoop. I don't have to start at the bottom to become a partner. I get it. If I rack up enough results and get famous, guilds will beg me to join as a partner. Dream big. She smiles and offers me a piece of candy. I start wondering why she's being so nice. Honestly, I'm worried. Without connections, landing high-paying gigs will be a struggle. Lee Si-yoon steps up, saying she'll hook me up with everything I need to start, completely free. Mouthful of candy, I ask why she's going through all this trouble to help me. She says she's playing the long game. When I become a superstar, she wants me to remember her guild. She hands me an envelope with a smile, saying the choice is completely up to me. It's a request from Incheon about an erosion zone on an island. The job isn't to kill the core, just to patrol the island and wipe out any mini-cores that appear. I check the payout, 5 million upfront and a 15 million bonus for success. That's wild. But I play it cool, toss the papers back, acting like the pay's too low for such a risky job. She just laughs, saying if I want the big bags, I need to get stronger and more famous. She looks me in the eye, asking for my final answer on the proposal. I pause to breathe, getting ready to lock in my decision for the mission. Meanwhile, in a car elsewhere, a guy asks Lee Si-yoon about the new talent she found at the tournament. She tells him his name is Yu Chan-suk, a dude who won the whole tournament using only his bare hands. 4 hours of bare-handed battling? Insane. Her crew looks annoyed, but she quiets them, saying the rookie actually held his own against her for 4 hours. One of them thinks she's exaggerating and asks if she was just holding back the whole time. She thinks that despite 10 years in the absolute trenches, she's never seen a monster like this kid. Cut to Jadongdo Island, the site of my first official gig. Her companions keep stressing how tough this mission is. Feels like a horror movie plot, right? They note that this job usually only goes to seasoned veterans with tons of experience. They're genuinely worried about how a total rookie will survive out there alone. But she tells them to relax. She already has a plan to keep me safe. She pairs me with someone she trusts. He says, "I'm ready for action." One of the guys asks what'd happen if I ever reached her level. She gives him a fair warning. She says that if I ever catch up to her, I'll be more than strong enough to take him down. The scene matches her vibe. I look sharp with a spear on my back and a stone-cold expression. Rewind to a month ago. I'm at my apartment waiting for a delivery. The bell rings. I'm already whining about the weight of a package I don't even remember ordering. Outside, the delivery driver double-checks the numbers so he doesn't mess up the drop-off. I swing the door open, curious to see what finally arrived. My jaw drops. The box is ridiculously long and massive. I don't waste time. I flip the latches on the case to see what's inside. My eyes light up the second I see the gear inside. I grab my new spear with a grin. This thing is perfect for the job. That spear is huge. Next, I pull out a vial of elixir, the ultimate safety net for hunters. Usually hunters store mana from the air, but this elixir cranks the speed up to 100. I'll say 100. But here's the catch. I use mana way differently than everyone else. My edge is I don't need to store it. I just pull straight from the environment. The mana strengthens my blood vessels over time, so eventually I'll handle even more power. Talk about long-term gains. It's a slow burn, though, so I'm using the elixir to fast-track my mana reserves. With this vial, I'm confident a month of training will get me ready for the mission. Fast forward back to Jadongdo Island. This is where my hunter career officially starts. There's a whole line of hunters waiting to check in and start the mission. They're using modern tech, scanning QR codes straight from our phones for IDs. The organizer confirms my ID and says I'm assigned to teammate. I head to the rendezvous point, marked by a big sign with 8 on it. When I get there, the other hunters look stressed and drained by the whole situation. Suddenly, a familiar voice calls my name. I turn around, genuinely surprised to see Han Sang-ah. I remark her hair looks way better now. Last time it was all frizzy from her power's static. She's excited we're on the same team and wants to work together, but I wonder what her angle is. She says I'm way stronger, so she can learn from me, then I jokingly complain about my shoulder hurting. She scolds me for being reckless, and I realize she really has no sense of humor. Right then, a leader shouts over the loudspeaker for everyone to lock in and focus. He announces that the Team 8 briefing is starting now that everyone has arrived. Time to gear up. He starts with the basics for us newbies, and I swear he's looking right at me. He explains the zones have 3 ranks, with Alpha at the top. There's an Alpha zone buzzing inside a nearby church, and even though it's unranked, they tell us to steer clear. Our job, clear 2 sectors and track down any new zones as they appear. When the plan is announced, a few hunters complain about having to do a kill mission with a rookie like me. The ferry hits the dock, and we jump off onto Jadongdo Island to get started. I get a serious chill. This place is creepy enough to freeze my blood, but I keep moving with Han Sang-ah. One of the leaders grabs the radio to give the final orders. He reminds us command is watching, and to alert them if anything goes wrong. He wishes us luck, and we head deeper into the island. Deep in the woods, a hunter sketches a route to hit both patrol zones in 1 week. Another hunter isn't convinced and starts ripping the plan apart. That's when I pull out a map and suggest we set up base in Wagasa. A hunter snaps back, asking why I'm so fixated on Wagasa. I explain it's the perfect spot to watch both patrol zones at once. The skeptic keeps whining, saying there are better, closer camps. I stare blankly, realizing every world has that one guy who ruins everything. Fed up with the deadlock, I suggest we split up and each follow the plan we think works. The group splits, each taking a different trail into the thick woods. Hunter Kim Min Yi decides to stick with me and hands Sang-ah on our side route. Nice to have a buddy, huh? I expected Sang-ah to lag, but wow, this rookie's mana is surprisingly high. Nice surprise, right? I ask Min Yi why he's tagging along, thank him for the backup, thinking at least we've got one solid teammate. Suddenly I sense something off and freeze, eyes laser focused. I spin around fast, shushing the crew with a finger to their lips. Min Yi looks confused, but I tell him to stay quiet and peek behind a nearby rock. Min Yi peeks carefully and is blown away by what he sees. Beyond the rock, we're staring at a full-on army of goblin-like critters hidden in the forest. Terrified, Min Yi whispers we should go around. There are at least 50 of them. I tell him to stay cool and ask what his special trait is, which only confuses Min Yi more. With a dead serious stare, I remind him hunters are fighters and ask again about his ability. Min Yi admits his power is fire, but his best move is a basic fireball. I tell him to unleash fire on my cue, leaving the rookie trembling. He panics, shocked to see even-hand Sang-ah getting ready for a fight. Min Yi thinks 3 against 50 is suicide, especially on his first real mission. He suggests calling the others, but I warn they won't be back in time. Pointing at the map, I explain the others are far off on coastal patrol. Plus, there's no guarantee they'd help, and letting those monsters spread would be a disaster. Min Yi finally concedes, realizing even nearby backup would probably bail. I say, outnumbered as we are, an ambush is our only shot. I quickly lay out the plan. Min Yi, fire your ball right into the horde center first. Let's make it count. After giving Sang-ah her orders, Min Yi wonders who I am to be calling the shots. Guess I'm the unexpected boss. Just then, the ugly horde starts moving straight toward us. At the signal, Min Yi launches his fireball with everything he's got. The shot hits spot on, causing a huge blast in the middle of the horde. Creatures burst into flame as the fireball rips through their ranks. Min Yi says he needs a breather, and I tell him to fire again as soon as he's ready. With fresh resolve, he nods and readies his next spell. Seconds later, I dive into the fray at crazy speed. I believe the key to a clean fight is flawless teamwork. When a monster lunges with razor claws, I shift to shield Min Yi while he's exposed. I know I can't stop them all alone, but I charge forward fearlessly. I crack a grin, confident in our plan. Han Sang-ah jumps in, drawing her sword and blasting lightning at a creature. She follows my orders instantly, ready for what comes next. Min Yi shouts his fireballs ready. I flash a grin, tell him to fire, and promise to dodge the blast. He leaps and hurls a massive fireball into the heart of the enemy crowd. A huge explosion rattles the area, showing off the raw power of that blast. With smoke still curling, I grip my spear, ready to clean up. I stay focused, ordering the team to finish the 2 monsters that survived. Almost done. As the dust settles, the full scale of the devastation shows. Whoa, that was intense. I slam my weapon into the ground, signaling the round is over. I just stand there calmly, pretty satisfied with how the ambush went. Min Yi walks up, giving props to everyone for the solid teamwork. Then Min Yi points a weird gadget at me, catching me off guard. With a nervous grin, Min Yi tells me to relax, it's not a gun. The device is more a tool than a weapon. Min Yi uses it on a dead monster, saying he's implanting a tracking chip. He explains scrap dealers. Since hauling monster parts is a pain, these guys track the chips and collect the loot later. They appraise the gear and split the profits for the hunter's family after a small cut. I ask if these guys are legit, and Min Yi says it all hinges on a solid contract. Suddenly, a creepy grin slips out of the shadows, something definitely watching us. Something lunges fast, and I shove my companion aside to save him. Min Yi scrambles up, wondering what hit us, while I and Sang-ah stay on high alert. With a grim look, I realize things just got way more intense. I'm annoyed, just finished one fight and now a new threat pops up. A massive monster with red horns towers over us, probably the pack's leader. Feeling the power gap, I shout at my friends to stay out of the way. Min Yi wants to fight together to stall, but I shut him down straight away. I order them back, asking if they have a death wish. Talk about a reality check. They're rattled by the sudden intensity of my command. Talk about a reality check. I explain that solo fighting lets me use my ghost flame without worrying about collateral damage. I confidently call out the beast, taunting it like it's nothing. The real fight kicks off, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Sang-ah asks if we should jump in, worried I'm in over my head. But Min-yi realizes it's unnecessary. Though it looks close, I haven't been hit once. I'm dodging every strike with insane agility. Sang-ah notices another thing. I'm not just dodging, I'm counter-attacking nonstop. Every time my spear lands, a black flame clings to the enemy. As the flames stack, the monster slows down a lot. What seemed like a struggle now looks like I'm just toying with the beast. Sang-ah can't believe her eyes, wondering how a rookie is this powerful. I land a heavy blow, proving I've got total control. I spin my spear, prepping the finishing move. In one swift motion, I hurl my spear high into the air. The others stare in awe as I fling my only weapon into the sky. The monster lunges for an opening, and Min-yi yells for me to watch out. But I just stand my ground, staring the creature down without blinking. Suddenly, the spear I threw whizzes back down toward the target. The spear slams into the monster's skull with a bone-crushing impact. He sees the creature twitch and gears up to land the final hit. He locks eyes with a cold stare, deciding the fight ends right now. The rest of the crew just stands there, totally stunned by what's going on. Min-yi, freaking out, can't believe how quick that thing fell. Our guy turns back, signals Min-yi, time for a quick rundown. He asks if these monsters show up often. Min-yi says only in a grade 3 zone. Guess we're in the hot zone. Hyun-seok double-checks. The briefing said it's an unclassified alpha zone. Looking at the wreckage, he says the island's erosion zone just leapt to grade 3. Han Sang-ah tries to contest the briefing, but he cuts it short. Facts don't lie, stay sharp. Min-yi panics, shouting their way outmatched by a grade 3 threat. He realizes if the intel's that off, most hunters won't survive this island. He begs our hero to rescue the others, but the answer's a firm no. Hyun-seok keeps it real. He can't carry everyone, he's just one guy with limits. The mission is to clear the zone. In this line of work, casualties are part of the deal. Han Sang-ah asks how he'd feel being left for dead, pleading for a savior. But he's not playing the emotion game, he's laser-focused on the goal. He's seen enough to know some endings are just inevitable in this harsh world. When death's that close, feelings won't help. You either survive or you don't. His advice, don't stall when things go south, that's how you get killed. The crew keeps moving and bumps into an abandoned temple deep in the dark woods. Spooky vibes. He warns them again. Soft thinking gets people killed in a world like this. They check the building, it's empty. No monsters in sight, a lucky break. Min-yi can't see a thing in the pitch black, but he spots other teams' flashlights. Our guy thinks that's a death trap. Those lights are like neon signs for monsters. He decides to warn every hunter on the mission before it's too late. Now it's time to plan the next move and wrap this mission up. Time to tie up loose ends. He thinks if they take out the zone's core, the rest of these freaks will just vanish. Simple plan for a messy problem. Find that erosion unit and smash it fast. While Han Sang-ah and Min-yi chill, our guy sets up an alarm perimeter to keep the camp from getting blindsided. With the perimeter set, he heads out alone into the dark forest to hunt the core. Suddenly, his gut says he's not alone, something's watching. A dark, creepy figure slowly steps out of the night's shadows. He sighs, he knew things were going a bit too smoothly to last. He spots a purple glow and recognizes the energy. Is it the same guy again? A massive purple beast appears, and he feels like he's seen that face before. At HQ, operators are freaking out as Team 5's signals go dark. The chief calls an emergency. These monsters are moving way too organized for his taste. An operator shouts someone's closing in on the Alpha Core. The chief panics. The guy heading straight for the core is Hyun-seok, the only one who called the upgrade. The chief orders a direct link to his terminal, maybe their only shot at figuring this mess out. Tech drama. Back in the thick of it, Hyun-seok's annoyed. This cranked beast is way faster than it looks. The base picks up his audio, and he's swearing like a sailor. The operator suggests muting the mic. He realizes his ghost flame isn't enough to one-shot the big guys. Looks like ghost flame needs a recharge. He needs to soften them up first, then finish them off with his spear. But this purple beast is hanging tough. It won't go down without a serious fight. His mana's low from earlier scraps, so he's not at full power right now. Then he spots it, something promising hidden in the dense, dark woods. A smirk creeps onto his face. He finally found the erosion core he's been hunting. He taunts the white beast, daring it to keep up with his pace. With a wicked smile, he decides to check one more thing before finishing. Back at base, they lose his GPS. The chief is freaking out. The guy just vanished into the alpha core. Inside the core, it's surprisingly clean. He wonders how insane rank 1 and 2 cores must look. The tour ends when a creepy purple hand reaches out right in front of him. He sees the core going all out now. Fine time to wrap this up. The monster lets out a roar that could wake the dead, gearing up for the clash. He admits his ghost flame has one big flaw. It burns everyone nearby except him. That black flame doesn't care about friend or foe if it gets out of control. It's a disaster. That's why he can't use it with a team. It's his biggest handicap. Dark energy flares up, shielding him just in time from a surprise attack. The beast gets swallowed by black flames as its life force slowly drains away. Intense. But he just smiles. Fighting solo makes that disadvantage irrelevant. As the smoke clears, he says the real show is just getting started. A blinding blue light bursts from his chest, surging with massive power. He uses that absorbed mana to boost his meridians, hitting a whole new level of strength. The absorption went smoother than he hoped. He's feeling dangerous. The purple monster screams in agony as the ghost flame devours it. A wave of blue energy shoots into the sky like a flare. He spots the enemy's move. The monster isn't just dying, it's calling for backup. 4 more giants show up. His response? Reinforcements don't matter against his overwhelming power. Dark energy floods the ground, boxing him in. He's stronger, but still far from his peak. He thinks he's a few times stronger now, but still far from the power he had back then. Not a superhero yet. The monster sees his flame is gone, so it decides to attack him. He dodges the hit at the very last second. He mocks the monster for waiting for his fire to go out. This monster is the erosion core, a whole different level, and it's shouting you're dead. But our guy is already crunching the numbers. At this level, he can definitely pull off a 4-hit combo. He charges in at insane speed, lunging at the beast with everything he's got. His spear tip glows bright, locking in energy for that first hit. The blow slams into the monster's weapon with crazy force, the impact exploding with raw energy. Blue energy erupts everywhere, sparks flying as he locks eyes on his target. Cool visual. Focused hard, he names his secret move, the Double Moon Spear. He unleashes a circular energy sweep that hits the creature squarely, leaving it stunned and immobile. He lands another heavy blow, while the beast still tries to defend. Then he wonders, what if that blue afterimage hit just a split second after his strike? The move shifts into a double spear dance, making it almost impossible for the monster to dodge. The monster freezes from the delayed timing, clueless how to react. He breaks it down. With this many attacks, enemies eventually slip up. One final blow later, the monster's weapon hits the dirt. It's over. Looking satisfied, our hero declares the fight officially finished. Blue energy attacks keep raining down, hitting the creature from every angle with no chance to defend. He expected the monster to just vanish, but something weird happens instead. Plot twist. A glowing box appears out of thin air, and he's left wondering what the deal is. He picks up the mysterious loot, shocked by what he just found. Meanwhile at base, everything's going south. Team 4's signals have gone completely dark. Reinforcements get bogged down by monsters, and interference makes landing on the island impossible. The chief starts to panic, wondering if this is the end for all hunters out there. He thinks only a miracle can save them now, just as someone calls out to him. The operator shouts a message just came in from Yu Chan-suk, and the chief is desperate for news. The message flashes on the big screen. The island's core has been eliminated. The system confirms the core signal is gone, and every last monster on the island is down. Finally, the chief is completely floored, trying to grasp the miracle that just unfolded right in front of him. Even our hero is scratching his head, wondering how he managed it so quickly by himself. He looks up at the stars, catches his breath, and savors the cool night air. Cut to another spot where a creature is being torn apart by lightning. Hansang-ah is giving it her all, but you can see she's hitting her limit. Her hand trembles on the sword as the electric energy of her skill starts to flicker. More monsters close in, and she's stressed out because our hero just vanished. Min Yi calls her name, sounding seriously worried about the horde below. She sees Min Yi as utterly exhausted, and with her own leg injury, things don't look good. An ugly beast with massive ears charges in for the kill. Hansang-ah tries to gear up for one last stand, but her body finally gives out. She admits she can't feel her legs anymore while trying to hold off the pack. The monster goes for the final bite, but suddenly everything falls silent under the full moon. Hansang-ah is left dazed, having no clue what just saved them. Suddenly, the monsters crumble to dust, leaving Min Yi wondering if it's finally over. The scene shifts to the mission hub, crowded with tents and ambulances. Our guy arrives, sees the damage, and wonders what went down while he was out playing hero. A couple of hunters spot him and lose it. They can't believe he cleared a grade 3 zone all by himself. He finds his injured friends on the ground. Min Yi is shocked he actually went in solo. He brushes it off, saying his body just moved to protect them, while Hansang-ah mutters a curse under her breath. Classic hero vibe. Talk about a low-key superhero, right? A mysterious voice beckons him, and he realizes he probably should have left earlier. Wow, talk about a surprise. A corporate manager named Bayan Zhangti introduces himself and says the mayor wants a meeting. Our hero recognizes the guy from the call and sighs at the typical corporate attitude. He notices the contract never mentioned a reward, so he gets ready to talk numbers. A guy under a black umbrella greets him in the rain, introducing himself as Lee Pil-jai, the city's liaison. Lee says the mayor is anxious and even cleared his schedule to see the rookie who took down a grade 3 source. With a wide grin, Lee tells the mayor that Hunter Yu Chan-suk has arrived. Mayor Park Ji-yeon greets him from behind his desk, apologizing for the rainy weather. The mayor offers him a seat and some coffee while thanking him for his service. He explains that the island was a massive headache they couldn't afford to fix until now. Yu Chan-suk sips his coffee and reminds him that was actually his first professional mission. The mayor gets hyped, launching into a speech about how Korea is safe and Incheon is the place to be. He starts rambling about infrastructure, foreign investors, and supply chains. Finally, the politician promises to make him a star hunter with a guaranteed path to success. Our protagonist cuts him off, asking a serious question about why he's really doing this. Back in the car, a man asks him what his purpose is for being a hunter. He says that if there's a clogged toilet spewing filth, someone has to dive in and unclog it. He stays quiet for a second, seeming to absorb the metaphor. He warns that while fame and money are coming, many hunters forget their real duty. He points out that beyond the safe zones, monsters are winning, and even this sanctuary is getting corrupted by greed. Yeah, politics sucks. The man says a lot of powerful people are going to take an interest in him now. Plot twist incoming. He looks him in the eye and tells him to keep being a beacon of hope for everyone. Our hero wonders after that how far they'll go. Our guy thinks he's definitely not falling for it this time. Straight to the point, he asks the mayor what the catch is for all this generous support. He calls it like it is. The mayor's approval ratings are tanking, and he needs a boost to get re-elected. The politician is shocked, calling him quick-witted, but our hero just shrugs. These days, everything you need to know is right on your phone. He notes that with the term ending early next year, the mayor's chances look pretty slim. Trying to dodge the heat, the mayor pivots to that special mission permit City Hall is holding over him. It's obvious. The politician wants to ride his coattails and take all the credit. The mayor starts bragging about his connections with global companies through his infrastructure projects. He pulls out a coffee box, mentioning the current model's contract is up and our hero could be the new face of the brand. But our hero cuts him off by slamming his cup on the table before the guy can even finish the pitch. With pure contempt, he asks if the mayor really thinks he's that cheap. The mayor gets awkward, stumbling over some line about how the world needs a fresh face to brighten the mood. Our guy leans in to set the record straight on this whole proposal. He makes it clear, everything the mayor is offering is stuff he'll achieve on his own anyway. The politician tries a last-ditch effort with safe and high-paying missions, but our hero just isn't interested. With a smirk, he tells the mayor to congratulate the coffee model. She's getting her contract renewed after all. Cut to a dark, rainy alley where things look pretty grim. Rainy alleys always set the mood. Perfect setting for a mystery. A hooded figure looms over someone on their knees, declaring the island test a total bust. He doesn't seem bothered, especially when the other guy says he actually has some decent news. He hands over a video, and the mysterious man asks what he's looking at. Turns out, it's a clip from the Hunter Association's recent qualification exam. With a grin, the hooded man admits our hero is the real deal. The first of every month is the moment the whole nation waits for. Everybody wants to know what the results are this month. Usually it doesn't change much, so it's not fun, but I feel this time may be different. The secretary is giving this month's ranking to the chairman. Even she wonders if the hero will be on the list. Our guy checks his phone, waiting for the result. He knows only the top 10 matters. So here it is, 10th place goes to Lee Si-yoon. 5th place goes to Kim Ki-hyun. 3rd place goes to Choi Yo-ryum. 2nd place goes to Jang Tae-seok. And 1st place is guess who? Yes, Yoo Chan-seok. Someone tells our guy he can go out now. News spreads, and people say congratulations to Yoo Chan-seok. He's prepping for a press conference, but he looks far from happy. A crowd gathers and he gets bombarded with questions. Talk about a bird's eye view. He says they can ask one more question, since his schedule is tight. They ask him about his upcoming moves and his mindset as a hunter. He says he'll skip the usual, "I'll do my best" line. Results should do the talking. He just says, "Let my results speak for themselves." Now our guy is up in a helicopter, watching a massive slaughter from above. Up in the chopper, he learns the situation is the same overseas, and when those erosion zones appeared, most countries lost their ability to govern. The old guy says Korea's changed. It's a real powerhouse now, not just because of the country, but thanks to its tech breakthroughs. But that's what you end up with when a nation can't handle its erosion zones. They figured they'd take a closer look. So basically, there are 8 most dangerous erosion zones in the world, and we're seeing one of them, the GONSALOK. Pretty intense, right?